Welcome back to the Mining Construction Economy map. What we're going to do today is make some steel. Now to make the steel, it is going to require a few different resources first of all. Iron, obviously, fuel, coal and also the limestone. So the fuel is dead easy. We just go and get it in a tanker and bring it over to here. The coal is slower. That's a fairly slow process because we have to mine that as well along with the limestone. And the iron, that's not a problem because we already have some here. So we just jump into the truck. We should be able to refill it. And there we go. And I believe what we have here is indeed iron. I hope it is, because otherwise I'm loading up something random. Yes, I think it is. It certainly looks like it. Move forward a bit. We'll fill it right to the top. We'll do a full load. And hopefully we can make some steel beams today. Right, so 35,000 litres of iron. I'm guessing we have to put it in over here. Now I know that it does look very similar to the Compost Master, but this is not a compost mixer. It's the same sort of looking machine, but obviously very different. So we'll tip that in there first of all. There we go, you can see it's filling up. I'm guessing the fuel is for this machine actually. That's okay. There we go. In fact, there should be a fill level gauge. I think if we're going back inside the building it should show us. So that's what we'll do. Just jump out here. And yeah, we are moving very fast today. Yep, 35,000 litres of iron. It might not be enough, but it's enough just to be able to at least say we've got something in there. Next what we're going to do is go and get some coal and some limestone. So I think we'll do coal first. If we head out of here, we'll go over to the other mine. Basically, this is the iron mine, and the other one is just the generic mine, which has many different things such as limestone, coal, gold. Amazingly, it's fantastic. And I think there is possibly sand over there as well, but the thing is, over at the iron mine, we also do have the byproducts which we get from the soil separation, which is also sand and gravel and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, they're fairly similar really. Right, so we're going to take a shortcut up here, and we're going to have to get some form of wheel loader to be able to load up the truck again. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have to go and buy a wheel loader. We could of course use the same one, but I don't really want to be transferring it from one mine to another, as it's going to be a fairly slow process doing that, because we do need to mine other stuff here. It's not just one resource we're going for, so it would be very good to actually have the machinery here, and also the machinery at the iron mine. I usually take a shortcut down here. Probably shouldn't do, but I will. Oh yeah. It works, it's just not advisable. I just need to avoid the mud. Plenty of mud. Right, so the coal mine, that is as far left as we can go. So if we go right round here, eventually we are going to come out over at the coal mine. Somewhere over here. There it is. And it looks like that might be a sheer drop. I think it is. Yeah, good job I didn't continue with speed, because that would have been catastrophic. We need to go down here. So I don't want to go too close to the edge, because obviously we have to mine it. So it's just a case of, you know, getting in the right position, but not getting in the way, basically. Soil, soil. That must be for the gold. Yes, it has changed quite a bit since I was last here. Because before, all you had to do was just basically put the bucket in the trigger, and that would be enough. But now you can actually pick up what we have here, which is very good. And in fact, that might have improved the multiplayer compatibility. I'll just slow down my walking speed. We're getting a bit enthusiastic. Yes, we need to pick this up, have to mine this, and we're going to have to go and get a wheel loader for this job. Right, okay, so this is clearly not a wheel loader. What I'm going to do is get the low loader, and I'm going to put the wheel loader on the low loader and take it over to the mine that way. The reason for this is because I don't really use low loaders very much in FS, and I would like to. The main reason for it really is in my other series we can't afford it. It's just not a viable option, paying for a truck and a trailer and all that kind of stuff. But in this series, it's the perfect opportunity. So that is exactly what we're going to do. Trying to get past the traffic here. Okay. And yes, I think it's in the grape field. I think I left it over here. Yep, I can see it. Let's just undertake this pickup. And here it is. Right. So, let's just put this on the back. We'll set it so it's not too close to the truck. And then we'll indeed head over to the store. Okay, so actually that is a fairly decent distance. We can go much further back, further forward and everything. That's too far forward. So, yeah, about that. That should be fine. The back isn't up fully. There we go. Right. So it's going to be a good load. Okay, so here we are. The ramp is down. Yeah, I'm going to slow down the walking speed. Although it's very handy getting around at an extreme pace, it's just a bit too fast to actually see what's going on. And is this too wide for the low loader? It probably is. It is the stock low loader, so it's not like extra wide or anything. But hopefully we can fit it on. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay, so it might have been better reversing it on, but we should be okay. There we go. And yes, we'll slow down our walking speed. That's better. Okay, get the ramp up, and this time we really can go out the exit. Over here. And with a bit of luck it won't move. It really shouldn't move anyway. It's such a heavy machine. As for getting out of here though, that could be trickier. We'll have to go out of this exit. Right, floor it. And yeah, that didn't work. That's much better. So yes, next time I know how to do it properly. And yeah, we can now start to mine the coal and the limestone. But we'll do the limestone obviously after the coal. And I think we are going to go with just the one trailer load or one truck load. But if we do become desperate, we can obviously get more. The aim of today's video is basically just to try it out. To try out the steel making. We may do it on a much bigger scale in the future. Why is it I'm always stuck behind a car? Always. It's always the cars which are the slowest. The tractors and trucks have to overtake. Having said that, this is still quite a climb, so if there was a car behind us, I think it would be waiting for us. We do have an excuse though, and that is the sheer weight. Must be pretty heavy all this. Although it is a heavy haul truck, so it shouldn't be struggling too much. Anyway, this time we won't take a shortcut, we'll go the proper way. Although it does mean go through mud. Which is pretty deep. So actually, it means going around mud. That does really reflect the weight of the trailer, or what's on the trailer. And from here, we need to try and find the best way of unloading. I think it probably would be the wisest idea to unload at the top, instead of halfway down where the handbrake of the lorry wouldn't be able to hold it or something. So yeah, we'll just do it from here. We'll put the ramp down and drive it straight off the back. It's getting a bit enthusiastic, but I think we've got away with it. Pretty good. So let's start to scoop up the coal. It is actually only going to be about 4 bucket loads, 3 or 4. Very fast. It's not a very big truck. But yeah, I think the capacity of the bucket is about 9,500 litres, which is pretty good. Let's try scooping it from here. There we go. Just short of 9.5. Now that is tough. Trying to reverse with a full bucket load up a hill. And it can do it, 3 miles per hour. That's quite impressive. Eventually, if we ever do make a big enough area at the bottom, we can park where the coal is at the moment, but I don't think we're ever going to actually mine enough for that. We'll have to see. Right, so I really don't want to spill anything. I said this before, and I spilled loads, so I'll try again. So far, so good. Okay, so just the one very small spillage just here. Even the smallest of spillages can actually cause a problem, because if you try and drive over it, you can actually get stuck fairly easily. As I'll demonstrate. I'll put the extra wheel down, just to try and assist. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but it has been in the past. For example, in the previous episode, when I was doing the soil, I spilled what I didn't really think was that much, but then it was enough to actually ground the truck in the middle. It was like pivoting on a piece of soil. So I had to try and nudge the lorry out of the way and then scoop up the soil from underneath just so we can move away. So I do need to be quite careful, really. Anyway, over to the other mine, the iron mine, and we'll tip the coal into the processor or wherever it needs to go. I probably should have done fuel first, actually, because then at least it would have allowed things to start to process. Maybe I should do fuel before limestone. Although I suppose, yeah, we don't have to actually tip the limestone. We can just load up and take it over there. Anyway, is this a shortcut? I think it is. Yes, we'll have to go this way again in future. So eventually, this does come out at the iron mine. Right, so the turning is actually down there, but we can take a shortcut through here. And this is the back of the steel factory, just here. And I don't know if the coal goes in the same place. We're going to have to find out. I did try and figure out most of it before we started the video. But yes, I didn't actually think to look at the coal. I think it probably does go in the same place. I can't really see any reason why it wouldn't do. So we'll try it. Hopefully it does. And we're going to have to bring the truck back as well for the tanker. Okay, so maybe not. The icon has appeared to unload, but it isn't unloading. So obviously not here. I'll keep looking. The only other solution to that might be, like I said, the iron may have to process first. Because as you can see, it's here. It hasn't gone through. So that's what we'll do. We'll get our other truck and we'll bring some fuel over. It'll be the last vehicle I go to. There it is. Right, so we'll keep the low loader here. It's bound to be used again. And we'll grab, well, actually it'll be a different tanker. It has to be the fuel compatible one. And we'll fill it up fully. And we'll take it over to the iron mine. Right, so here we are. Let's choose the one which is for us. That is the universal fuel tank. I did think there was one which is compatible with the truck. Maybe not. It does say fuel here, but I'm fairly sure we do have to use this one here. Oh well, not to worry. We'll buy that, and if we don't have a tow bar, which we do I think, then we can just use a different vehicle. We do. Fantastic. Right, so let's go over to... It is the... I think it's number 6. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, it could be number 2. Ah, yes, number 2, I think. So yes, we'll get some fuel, and then it'll be over to number 8 to start the process. At least that's the plan. As I've never done it before, it can be sometimes quite tricky to figure it all out. But I'm fairly positive this is all going to work well. I believe it's around here. I think it's this one. Nope. Must be the next one over here. It's definitely one of these. What does that say? Biodiesel? Yep, that must be the one for us. There we go. And it's free. Free for us to fill up. Always good. There we go. I'm hoping that 22,500 litres is going to be enough. You really would not have thought it would use the same amount as the materials themselves. I think it'd be plenty. As long as I can get out of here. That's the only other issue. Right, I think I've made it. Okay, let's go. With a bit of luck, all we have to do is just reverse up to the fill point as it was with the compost mixer, and then it will take the fuel and it will start to run. If that isn't the case, then, well, we'll get to that when we get to it. So I'm hoping it's going to be as simple as just basically reversing up to here, unloading, and then the whole thing starts up. If it doesn't work, then, well, we'll hopefully not get to that later. Let's just try it. Oh, it's saying unload. That's working. Fantastic. So the fuel is going in. Almost there. Another 1,000 litres. And it's done. Ah! That's working. I'm guessing it's because what you're supposed to do, by the look of it, is tip it into these designated bays just here, and then use a wheel loader or a front loader to put it into the machine. I've just sort of jumped that step there and tipped it straight in. So there we go. That's the coal done as well. It should show us on the info page. There we go. And now for the limestone. We are definitely going to have to do this on a larger scale later. This is just my preliminary test, my first attempt. And with a bit of luck, it will work out alright. Hang on. There's something not quite right about this road. Okay, so onto the limestone. Now this is actually gone a bit pear-shaped, and I've had to restart this section of the video, because originally I thought it was where it used to be. And it turns out the position in the quarry where the limestone used to be is now stone. So I loaded up a full load, and it turned out not to be the correct thing. So, what I then did is I loaded up the other material that was there, which does turn out to be limestone, and then I took it over to the iron mine, and basically it wouldn't tip. But then I realised after this that the reason why it wouldn't tip is because you have to load it up with a wheel loader. So we're going to have to go and load up this truck behind us again, and then, yeah, obviously we'll tip it in the trigger, or in the area, and then put it into the processor using a wheel loader. It sounds so obvious now. Oh yeah, and we're carrying a road sign about for no reason at all. But we do, we've got one, just, at least we were. A 40... Good grief, it's a crazy thing. It must have respawned back to its position. So this is where we want to be. I need to make sure the truck goes in a fairly decent place for me to load it up. So, oh, what's he doing? Hopefully following me. I might have to position it myself, although that's not too bad. That's pretty good. So we'll leave it there. We should have a fairly large capacity bucket here. Yep, 15,000 litres, so it's going to be, well, over 2 bucket loads, just about. Much bigger than the previous wheel loader we had, but both are very good. And of course, yeah, we're going to have to load up the processing machine at the other end with the smaller one, so it'll take about 4.5 bucket loads instead of 2 and a bit. But I get this done, and I'll resume when it's full. And hopefully the final 2,500 litres will be here, if it doesn't all fall out my bucket again. But yes, that is 2761, which should be enough. It should leave a bit in the bucket. Okay, it didn't. Oh, maybe the bucket wasn't filling 100%. We're super close though. Yeah, it wasn't, I don't think. You see, the thing that confused me was I checked the PDF, which I think is now out of date, and you see the greyer rock through there, the stone. That used to be limestone, I think. So, yeah, it kind of threw me. but it doesn't really matter because you haven't even seen any of that video which I recorded. So yeah, let's just go and take this over there, and we'll try and tip it again, but I really don't think it's going to work. We're going to have to tip it into the bay and then load it up with the wheel loader. But then after that, we will then be ready to produce steel. It's been a long time coming, I know, but yes, we're about to be able to do it. Look at that. They're blocked by some port. I think most people would probably go and grab the port. We're going to sell it in a future episode. It's going to be worth a fortune. There you go, letting the traffic go. Blocked by alcohol. Seems strange. Now it would be fantastic if this does just work, because I've just realised, because I had to remove the mods, because that is a potential issue, a mod conflict. Yeah, the one that was here is gone. We do actually have the JCB wheel loader over at the farm, so that's not too far away. But I'm fairly sure this is not going to actually tip. No. The symbol does appear, but no luck. So we'll put it in one of these designated bays here if we can do. Hopefully it will unload. And then we'll have to scoop it up again. There we go. I'll have to move forwards as we do it. Interesting. Okay. It doesn't want to tip it in one go. So we're going to have to assist it, which is fine. So here comes the JCB to the rescue. And this definitely does work, 'cause I've already tried it. You have to scoop it up and put it into the processor itself. The truck is actually stuck on there, as I mentioned before, earlier in the video. So I might have to try and nudge it off there. Problem is, this wheel loader isn't very powerful compared to the others. There we go. And then, yeah, we'll just keep trying to tip it here. Look! It's all started to work. It's all molten iron. Or is it molten steel? Yeah, a bit of a hassle having to do this, but we'll get it out of here eventually. Right, let's load it up. And there we go. As you can see, there are pieces here. What I'm going to have to do is get the conveyor belt, and that will be able to clear all this up very well. And it will actually avoid having to use the wheel loader, so that would be a really good solution to it. Anyway, as you can see, at least I hope you can see, there we go, we've actually already produced 2 pieces of steel, and that has filled the capacity wherever it is. Hang on. Where does it appear? It must appear somewhere. There, is it? 8,000 litres? Yes, object too heavy. So clearly, we have to get something very large to move this with, which is what we'll be doing in the next video. In fact, please do feel free to recommend the best forklift or whichever machine is required to move these with so that we can sell them. As for selling them, this is something I need to check myself. We need to go to Steel, which is just here. They're very expensive, and they go to the Steel Harbour. And that's actually a very long way from here. So we're going to require a flatbed trailer. And actually, yeah, they're not going to be light, so I should think both of these two, they're going to basically fill a trailer for weight, even if it doesn't for size. Anyway, there we go. Part 1 of making steel. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. And until the next one, see you again very soon. Bye for now.